They haven't been able to fully contain it yet. As I mentioned to you, I saw oil off Laguna Beach, about a mile and a half off Laguna Beach. I know they're going to work really, really hard to try to preserve our precious natural resources and natural ecosystem. But the work continues, and I know they're not going to stop until it's done. But this was a lot of oil, as we saw all the way up to Huntington, and this pipeline, unfortunately, its leaking really did create a massive environmental crisis that we're going to have to deal with some time. But I just want to thank again the Coast Guard and everybody involved for doing all they can to try to preserve our precious coastline. The oil is making its way south right now, and as I was seeing the oil about a mile and a half away from the coastline, I just kept asking myself, why in the world are we drilling for oil out here in this beautiful place with millions and millions of people and our entire coastal tourism economy, the thousands and thousands of jobs directly linked to having clean beaches and clean water, our oceans. It's just inconceivable to me that we would keep drilling for oil, particularly when you consider that it really doesn't make up that much in terms of the overall picture for oil in the country. We're only talking about 200 miles, give or take, worth of pipelines, 23 active drill rigs. So I really believe we need to phase those out. And at the same time, I've led legislation that would end all new offshore drilling off California's coast. And in fact, it made its way into the president's new Build Back Better Act. This particular pipeline, I think, has been around since 1980. And so you really have to wonder whether that's wise and whether we need to be continuing to use those older platforms and also the type of oversight, transparency, and accountability. We're now seeing the reports from the Los Angeles Times and elsewhere about potentially an anchor having hit the pipeline. We need to really understand what happened there, make sure that they went and did things exactly by the book. There'll be a lot of investigating in the weeks and months ahead here to make sure that to whatever extent we can prevent any further incidents. But make no mistake, I want to see a phase out of our existing drilling, and I want to see a ban on any new drilling. Well, we can't have it sit on the back burner anymore. This is now impacting us day in and day out, not just this oil spill, but climate change. It's not theoretical for us anymore in Southern coastal California. We see it each and every day, and we have to take the steps that are commensurate with the science to actually address the climate crisis. That's what I certainly hope we will do when all is said and done with regard to the Build Back Better Act and the president's two-tiered strategy, two-track strategy with regard to the reconciliation bill and the bipartisan infrastructure bill.